Hello, scruftards, freaks, geeks, weirdos, and degenerates. Welcome to the War Zone. I'm Scruffy, and this is Scruffy Tales. And while Russia is applying a whole lot of pressure on the border with Ukraine up in Kursk, trying to punch through the Ukrainian border and reach Ukrainian logistics, Ukraine appears to have some fight left in them as Ukraine launches an attack within Russia, expanding the territory that they are in control over. So let's take a look at it. And towards the end, we will also have some good news regarding Swedish equipment being put to the test within Russia in Kursk, and Swedish steel holds firm and holds the line. Right, so here we have Andrew Perpetua's map of Kursk, and here you can clearly see Russia pushing in towards Novenke or through Novenke towards Basivka. They made a push over here as well, and they're attacking at what's the town called, Suravka. And so clearly we have a big push along this part of the border south towards Basivka and towards Yunakivka. We've been talking about that for over a week. What is it, a week maybe? But take a look what happens now when we push ahead here a couple of days. Here we have confirmation of the push in Suravka. But take a look what just happened up here. Going back. And there we go. This is the latest. Russia has also pushed into Pogrebki and Olgovka. This happened a couple of days ago, according to the other mappers. And they are pushing into Novaya Zorichna. We knew this was happening. We've seen it on other maps, and Andrew just updated. But this is interesting. This is only on Andrew's map so far that I have noticed. Yeah, and maybe the other mappers have updated. But a push by Ukraine. Take a look north of Cherkaskaya, Porechnoye, and Urskoye Porechnoye. Ukraine is pushing in to these valleys here, moving down from the hill into these valleys north of Ruskoye Porechnoye, pushing Russia back. So it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, Russia is pushing down here west of the river Malaya Loknia. Yes, they are a big threat along the border down here, but Ukraine still has some fight left in them, pushing into these valleys here, threatening to overrun and cut off Ruskoye Porechnoye. So we'll see if Ukraine can push into this town eventually as well. And if we take a look at Deep State's latest updates, we can see here how Russia is pushing in the south along the border. Novenke haven't any confirmation on Suravka, but other mappers are showing it. The push here out from Dorino towards Pasivka. And of course that Russia has moved through Pogrebki south. And take a look, you have Ukrainians north of Ruskoye Porechnoye according to Deep State. And let's head on over to Mayakovsk 73. Damn it. Wow. Sorry about that. And yes, here you go. Russian push through Novenke southward towards Pasivka. They're coming down out of Dorina this way, trying to move into Pasivka this way. And the push towards Saravka. Russia moving through Pogrebki, Orlovka, raising a flag in Novaya Zorichna, pushing south towards Staraya Zorichna. Here you have an important bridge. Where is it? This bridge over the river Malaya Loknia. So Russia is clearly pushing down along the river here. And nothing to indicate that Ukraine is making this push that we've seen on the other mappers. But so we're going to have to wait and see if we can get confirmation here as well. But usually they all align within 48 to 72 hours with each other. And my map here we can see where Russia has pushed south through Pogrebki into Novaya Zorichna, of course, and this area here, these two regions is where Ukraine has pushed in. I haven't really correctly updated the outline of where Ukraine and Russians are located, as I usually do, as you can see here. But this is the area where Ukraine is pushing in north of Ruskoye Porechnoye, and by the looks of it, are essentially cutting the town off from reinforcements. You have a river here, marshes, and Ukraine has pushed in to take control of the roads leading into the town. So it appears as if Ukraine is trying to apply pressure to this town and maybe try and reclaim it, or try and claim it. And then, of course, we're going to move down here to the border regions, because down here we have a bunch of interesting news for the Swedes out there. Right here, where Russia is pushing, is the last known location of the 21st Mechanized operating CV90 and the Swedish main battle tank STRV-122. And of course, the CV90 has made a name for itself in this war as a beast of war. It can survive basically anything that Russia throws at it. It survives multiple hits from drones. Russia has moved up its best T-90 main battle tanks to try and force the CV-90 from the field of battle, but it keeps coming back for more. And the powerful 40mm Bofors autocannon is capable of destroying anything on the battlefield, including Russian main battle tanks, with a flanking shot. And they are operating down here. They are currently under a lot of pressure at Novenke, right here on the border outside of Basivka, now as Russia is pushing into Shuravka. So this is where this was the last known location of the 21st Mechanized, and I think it's safe to assume that they are currently in the thick of the fighting, trying to hold the line and prevent Russia from pushing in towards Basivka and later on towards Yunakivka. And also, we have the 63rd Marine Regiment or Brigade operating here in this area outside of Lebedevka, close to Nikolsky, and where Russia has pushed into Sverdlikovo. And they are operating the old Swedish APC and also IFV, as it was used according to Swedish doctrine back in the day, the PBV302, a very capable old vehicle, as it turns out. It was known before it entered into this war for its incredible capability to cross difficult terrain, mud, snow, thick forest, you name it. Basically, it's only a volcano can stop it, basically. And it's been proven as a truism here in Kursk. It's unstoppable. The Ukrainians rely on it extremely heavily to bring in supplies to the contact line and to bring wounded out of combat. The Ukrainians report that it is better armored than the M113. We already knew this. The PBV was back in the day designed to have better armor than the M113, along with better mobility. The Ukrainians praise it for having better mobility than Humvees, than M113s, and what have you. It is providing a lot of capability to the Ukrainians in this part of the battlefield that they previously did not have. Excellent armor and extremely excellent all-terrain capability. And it's been the Ukrainians have received some 300 of these vehicles, and so far only 2 have been confirmed destroyed after roughly being on the front line for a month. So 2 confirmed destroyed PBV302s after a month of combat within Russia itself. Let that sink in. The PBV302 is an extremely capable vehicle despite its old age. So down here, CV90s, some of the potentially the best infantry fighting vehicle in the entire world. And up here, an old Swedish APC IFV from the 60s that has been brought back into service is doing what it was designed and meant to do: take the fight to the Russians. And the Ukrainians are very happy to have a vehicle of this caliber supporting them in the area here surrounding Lebedevka and Sverdlikovo and Lochnia here within Russia. So Swedish steel on the front line within Russia, helping Ukraine fighting for their freedom. So I'm gonna provide you with a link to a Swedish site that reports on the success of the PBV302 in Kursk. It is a fantastic read. If you are from the Nordics or if you understand Swedish, please take a look at the article. It's well worth the read. The PBV302 is a real boost to Ukrainian capabilities, as reported by the Ukrainians themselves and eyewitness accounts from Kursk. There has been some shit mentioned in a Swedish newspaper that is pure Russian propaganda, and the journalist in question is what we in the north call a quisling, the worst type of traitor you can imagine. And but we have some actual real reporting in this link. I'm going to provide it down below if you want to read about the absolute success of the PBV302 in Kursk. Anyway, that's going to have to be it. And as always, go på marsch Ukraine and give them hell.